American descendants, we were had. We've been played. The game is afoot. And honestly, every time, every single round, we lose. Would you like to know why? Because we are so easy to manipulate. Colin Kaepernick is a fraud. He does not care about anything going on within the confines of urban America. All of these celebrities pretend as if they do because it's good public relations. But for the most part, no. And this is particularly egregious because of the pedestal that Nike and his handlers and descendants and not really descendants, just the media really prop this man up on. And what we're looking at right now is an article that came out a month before he even started protesting. And as you can read the headline, the end is near for flawed quarterbacks Griffin and Kaepernick. This was written by Andy Benoit. And it goes into, just during this time. Like I said, this was a month before before he started his protest in the preseason, in the September of that preseason. We're going to go to the section of the Kaepernick case. Okay, here we go. First off, let's ask why he's requesting a trade. Because he was requesting a trade. His entire kneeling thing started because of his contract and his trade. Now, I have another article queued up that I'm going to get into in a second that goes into his contract and how it was front loaded and, all the details in that. But let's get into this. First off, let's ask why he's requesting a trade. The fresh start he needs seemingly found him when the Niners hired head coach Chip Kelly, whose system is built for a mobile quarterback. Because I remember Kaepernick from back in the day. He was an amazing mobile quarterback. He was like Mike Vick. But the thing about the NFL, and it's really one of my favorite things about the NFL, is that if they'll figure you out eventually. It's like the same thing with Tim Tebow. They figured Tim Tebow out. Guess what he's doing now? He's playing baseball. They figured Robert Griffin III out. Where is he at now? Raising his mixed breed baby. I don't know, but and I say that as a joke. It's nothing against mixed people. It's just a joke. But it's also a system built on quick decision making, which is far from Kaepernick's forte. Kaepernick is slow to progress coverages when he processes them at all, and doesn't give a great feel for moving around in the pocket. He refused to stay in the pocket. I remember that. Kaepernick can be hard to catch when he runs around, but too many of his runaround plays are fruitless because they never should have been runaround plays to start, because he see those feet. Like, he had no faith in his line, and he just take off running. Too often, Kaepernick will look to abandon the pocket the instant he reaches the top of his drop back. Coaches hate this because it nullifies the play's route designs. It can also create pressure when none existed. If you're breaking down and moving to the top of your drop, the primary place to move is up in the pocket that hasn't fully formed, putting you closer to interior pass rushers. Now, the reason I'm going into all this, and the reason I wanted to touch on this, is because he was figured out. He was not playing well. Oh my God, it's so infuriating how, black people dying, so that's why I kneel. No, bruh, you knelt because you wanted a new contract or you wanted to be traded. That's the thing. You were unhappy with the 49ers, and that's why you knelt. It had absolutely nothing to do with the plight of descendants in this country. Now, let's get to this other article. Was this written? I'm not sure if it was written. Was it written? This is from another Sports Illustrated article. 15 backup quarterbacks better than Colin Kaepernick. And this was written in June 2017. Okay. First off, you're about to read this, has zero to do with the protest, so this is after we're into it. For proof, here's an article I wrote in March 2016. Let's get on down here, though. There's the list: Jimmy Garoppolo, Matt Moore, Colt McCoy, AJ McCarron, Chad Henne, Geno Smith was out playing them. Jesus. But guess what? I just explained to you in the other article why. He would run. And the crazy part is that during this time, I actually, 2015 was my last year really paying attention and caring about football, because I'm a Jets fan. It had absolutely nothing to do with protest. It had absolutely nothing to do with any kind of boycott. I'm a Jets fan, and it'd been a while. So So I was like, you know what? Taking a little break. And then as soon as I walk away, the entire thing just exploded. And you got Colin Kaepernick and all these other people. Oh yeah, I'm going to kneel too. Oh, and all these followers like, yeah, I'm going to kneel too. I'm going to kneel too. And I'm just like, are y'all kidding me? No, this was a contract dispute. He has this girlfriend who, rumor has it, allegedly, she was like, yeah, baby, you should do that. Matter of fact, let's do this right quick. That's, there you go. We'll type them both. Just cause. Ain't she bad? Yeah, she's not unattractive. Okay. And that's the thing. That's one of the things that I try to say. One of the themes that I definitely talk about on this channel a lot is that, hey, attractive women can get guys to do, well, whatever. So she was like, hey, baby, they protesting, so you might as well just, get on that, make it about that, and get us another payday because the NFL scouts had you figured out. Sorry. And now, and one of the main catalysts, I'm going to just leave it here for the remainder of the video. One of the main catalysts for this video even being produced is that Richie Incognito was brought back into the league. And people are like, oh, well, this proves how racist and terrible. Bruh, what are you talking about? Richie Incognito is a guard. That is a pretty if you still got the skills, I don't want to sit here and diminish, what guards do. But, it's not really the exact same as the quarterback position, at all. It's not close. They just both wear the same uniform. And there's so much conflation that's taken place over, the last few years that there really needs to be some kind of fallback and some kind of reflection on this. And that's really what this is about. We got played, Ados, descendants, whatever you want to call yourselves. We're our own little breeding group. We got played. They use our history. They use our struggle. They use everything that our ancestors went through in order to justify their BS. There is this article, Vice, which is a god-awful news outlet. I mean, they were good when Shane Smith was there, but now they're just terrible. They wrote this article about how Ariana Grande's wax figure is her without, the blackface, or, saying, but that they're exploiting blackness, but the person that wrote it wasn't even black. So it's like, what are you talking about? Oh, this media, they're just avatars, man. All these folks are just avatars. They are here to manipulate us. They are here to kind of tell us how to think. And that's it. And so many people fall for it. I cannot tell you all the different arguments I've gotten into with people over this situation with Colin Kaepernick, because I always say, yeah, it was a contract dispute. It had nothing to do with Black Lives Matter or Mike Brown or Eric Garner or Trayvon Martin or, Sandra Bland or any of those endless names, Philando Castile, or just the endless names. And guess what? A list that continues to pump up to this day. He got his settlement, he cut his check, and he's gone. He could care less. And it's just like, I remember there was a photo of him at one of the basketball games recently, and he's slicked back, looking smooth. And the deal is, and I think this extra irritates me because I liked Colin Kaepernick. I remember that Madden commercial. He didn't even say anything during the commercial. It was the Kevin Hart one, and I thought it was probably the last good Madden commercial. It was really funny. I enjoyed it. Kevin Hart was going against Casey Affleck, and in the background you got everybody pretending to be rock, blah 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 blah, and Colin Kaepernick was amongst them. It was really funny. And he was a Mike Vick type quarterback. He was mobile, he ran, and I enjoyed his play, but that was about it. As far as being some kind of revolutionary and everything else like that, no. Like it, and they gave him like, oh, he's walking around with the fro, and Nike gave him another contract because they gave him a contract because he was actually on a contract with them, when during his period while he was hot. It's just this is just the worst kind of black exploitation. It really is, and it's infuriating because we keep falling for it. We keep finding ourselves in these traps that get that are carefully laid out for us. And it's not that we even look to avoid the trap. We happily walk directly into it. And that, it's the saddest thing ever. And Colin Kaepernick was amongst them. And I don't know this chick's role in anything, because I don't know these people like that, but she fine as hell. So yeah, definitely we gonna keep the fineness up on the up here right quick. But yeah, so with that being said, well, let's just reiterate right quick. This was a fraud. This was a sham. They exploited us again. They've been doing it for forever, and it has to stop. That's all I'm asking. I just want it to stop. Like this video if you liked it. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. Share, because seriously, this was BS, man. Like the watching the commercials and all these other followers just take the knee. Oh man, I'm gonna take a knee too, and put their careers in jeopardy. Like, bruh, like, are you serious? Are you serious? For what? What do you get? Like 36 million? I think it was an undisclosed amount that they settled on. But, he settled, and even before he settled, it was just like church mouse. And yeah, what is he going to do? Go make a donation someplace or anything else like that? But as far as doing the real work and actually going into these policies, actually going after these legislators, actually going after these environments that these kids to this moment are forced to grow up into, then you know what? You do nothing. Colin Kaepernick, you do nothing. Candace Owens, you do nothing. And I'm not talking about, oh yeah, well, we're going to put a program there. But they don't need programs. Okay? The programs don't work. It's been forever and a day. Programs do not work. Your donations, guess what? Lawyers and consultants, suck them up. Ask Mark Zuckerberg about Newark. And they say it, and it's so disingenuous, and it's such BS, and it's so easy to see through. Until the next video.